Hi, I hope you had a happy holiday. So here is my HTML assignment, which I will walk you through. I will say this is probably the hardest assignment I've ever had to do. YouTube was definitely my friend, but by the end I enjoyed it, and I kind of wish that, I had more time and more skills to take it deeper. So I start off, this is the first component of the assignment, just putting in the HTML, the head, and the body. I also added in these, which I think were called like comments or something like that, which I read was recommended just to make the code more easily read. So it wasn't a whole bunch of code like bunched together as jargon. So this is one of my first tags, the first header. I aligned it center and, just have the Allison LaJose. And then my second header, which I also aligned center, just a brief summary of me. This was a break that I put in just to make sure that there was a space between my header and then what I really wanted to be the body of the web page. This is a third header that I used, which I aligned this one left, so it's my about me. Something interesting I did find out initially when I did it, I put in several headers just kind of for the different sections, and then I found basically that you can use too many, because when I got to the end it didn't really change how it looked, and so I had to reduce the number of headers that I had in there. So here's another tag just to separate the different paragraphs. I have 4. And when I initially started off doing it, I actually just put in these places example 1 paragraph. I didn't really worry about what the content was because I just wanted to complete the code and make sure, that it looked right and that I had that done before I started focusing on what it was actually going to say. So in my first paragraph right here, you can see this is where I put the hyperlink. I actually had to play with this a little bit because I wanted the text to read something different than the web page. And the first few times I did it, it was reading the chicagoschool.edu home, so I had to kind of keep playing with that so that it could read the text was the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. So then went down, I'm going to scroll a little further. So this is the first image, which was resized. You can see here I specified the width and the height here. And here is the syntax, the image tag right there. And then this is the second image here, which was not resized. And it actually links back to an article. So I'm trying to look for it. Here we go. So here's the article right here. And then here's the Ahref tag so that it can take you back to that article. And here is also where you can see some of the other code. So I made like a bullet and an indent in here, which you'll see when I actually take you to the web page. So that's all kind of in here. Then I started, here's my video with the YouTube. And then down here I started getting into the features. So the first feature that we did was a table, which actually, if I had a little more time to play with it, I would have liked the table to have more rows, but I just kind of put this one in as an example, pro-con table. And then the second feature that I did was a form, which again, this one I thought would have been really cool if when people submitted information to the form, it was an actual submission. But when Googling, I read something about how the backend database, you'd have to have a backend database to receive data, and it just sounded really complicated and beyond the scope of this assignment and definitely outside of my skill set. So the form that we have is just kind of an example here. And then the last feature I did was a block. So you can see I aligned my text center here, did the background color green, and here's the text. And I'll scroll back up because I guess I should hit on each of the features. Here's where I put in the strong, to make it bold. You'll see the M. So a lot of the different components we're supposed to have are kind of in this section right here. And now I would actually take you to the web page. So here's my web page. And as you can see, here's the header 1 and the header 2. And actually taking you to the page just now, I realized something. I know in the assignment it said to name it by your name, so I thought putting this as the header would be the name. but I'm thinking now I need to change this welcome to actually say Allison LaJoe. So I'm going to go back and do that after I finish this video. So right now I guess the name is welcome. But here's that other header I was talking about, header 3, the about me, which is aligned to the left. Here are the 4 paragraphs. Here's the hyperlink right here. And as you can see, it reads the text that I was talking about, the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. And I will click on that just so you know that it actually works. Let's give it a second. So as you can see, it actually takes you to the page. So yay, it works. And then I'll scroll down a little more. Here is the resized image, which actually was really, really pretty as a big image. I love that picture. Here's the non-resized image where if you click on it, it actually takes you to the article with using that href tag. And this is also where you see kind of the bulleted list. I will say when looking at, and I played with this a little bit too, the different codes, it was kind of hard to tell sometimes what some of the different features did unless you took them out and put them back in. So that was kind of cool, and I can see how it added spaces or added bullets or things like that. So that was neat. Here's my embedded video, which came from YouTube. Here's the table that I mentioned. If I had more time and skill, I'd probably add a few more rows. And definitely if I had more skills, I would make it where this actually, when people entered stuff, it actually went somewhere. They were actually submitting. But this is my form. And then this is the block that I talked about with, the green background, the center text, and it just says thank you for visiting my webpage.